Look out. Footy's back. That's right. G'day. Ahead of the showdown tonight, I'm Port legend Chad Corns. No, I'm not. I'm not a Corns at all. My eyes are normally sized and so is my bonce. I'm Jaymz Clements and I'm the host here of the AFL Today Show. Joining me for this Week 8 preview. Week 8, Round 8. That all works too. We've got a couple of local dingai. That's right. Dinguses. Not dingoes, dinguses. We've got social guy Leo over there. What's going on, Leo?
Not too much, Jim. Just happy to be here.
As per usual. Very nice.
He just sets the tone. Well done.
And those are the dulcet tones of stats guy, Liam McAllion.
Oh, I lost the plot a little bit there. I'm getting distracted. The Celtics are on TV, but yeah, very excited.
Okay, good job.
Give me nothing over there.
This is the AFL Today Show. We're here to make footy a little bit more fun. That's what we do. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out across all of your social networky geary stuff. TikTok is specifically very fun.
Yes.
So is the IG. In fact, all of it's really good. The cool thing is we've got teams. It's Thursday, teams.
Yes.
Let's get into it. Some Thursday teams. And some news, because footy is back. Let's get into a big weekend of footy ahead. It's not rivalry round. Remember that. But there's lots of rivalries.
It's close. Did you see that? I was talking to Leo before. Did you see the AFL?
AFL's 28.
Posted.
Hey, what's your favourite rivalry?
Yeah.
We did that yesterday.
Yeah.
Come on.
They also posted a weird AI image of the Quidditch players and things like that. They've gone really weird lately, the AFL Instagram page.
The Quidditch thing was strange and they got rightly dragged.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what's this weekend? May the 4th. You know what that is? May the
Star
4th
Wars,
be with you.
Yeah.
And they go with Harry Potter
What are they doing?
for rivalry? Why?
Oh, it's a pretty big rivalry. Gryffindor, Slytherin, pretty big.
Sure. Nerd. Anyway, other news with all these rivalries sort of happening. We also had, Sam Draper talking about the Bulldogs. That was weird.
Yeah, I think he's a bit out of pocket
I kind of rate it.
You like it?
Yeah, it's just a bit of fun. He probably shouldn't do it, but why not?
Yeah, that's why. I don't think he should do it. I think
He probably shouldn't, but as someone who thinks the same as what he's thinking, I'm like,
Well, yeah, what he said wasn't
What he said was
incorrect.
right,
He was
right?
saying there's going to be lots of Bulldogs that are leaving and things like that. I think he was impersonating a media person, so they took it a bit out of context.
he's impersonating you.
Yeah, maybe it was me. I don't know. I doubt it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think the apology needed to happen. The Bombers did an apology on his behalf. And
Stop sooking.
Yeah, it was weird.
How could you talk about other players? It's Sam Draper having he's probably like 87 tins of tradie beer deep.
Probably, yeah.
Like, whatever. He's just talking about another team. You know, like if it's a problem, if it's another coach or like another list
Well, it
manager.
technically was another coach.
It was about Bevo, yeah.
It was about Bevo, but at the same time. But it's a player talking about this sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's fun. Shut up, nerds. Anyway, other news stats guy, Andy McGrath.
Andy McGrath re-signs for 6 more years. I think he's a very good player, but that is a lot. That is a big contract. And then Ollie Florent, I don't know why.
Too much again.
Too much. 5 years. Leo, you reckon that's too many?
Yeah, both too much. Look, they're great players, but a 5 and 6 year deal for them is just way overs, isn't it?
Oh, Andy McGrath, I think people rate him harshly because he was he a number 1 pick.
Yes, he was.
Obviously not reaching the heights probably of a number 1 pick, but he's still been really good for the Dons. I don't mind that, but I don't know about Florent 5 years.
I don't know. McGrath just doesn't win a hardball for me. So I don't know.
Fair enough.
I think a lot of these long-term deals, you're very much clearly seeing it through the eyes of the Tasmanian Devils.
They're just worried.
True.
It's just a lot of these teams going, right, what are we going to be paying? What's going to be the salary cap in like a bunch of years? What are we paying
Get him
now?
early, yeah.
Let's lock it away.
True.
That way it sort of comes off the table. The idea of them leaving is off the table.
Jim used to be a list manager back in the day. That's why.
Back in the day, I think he's still one now.
He's Carlton's list manager.
I'm managing the list here and like you might be off it soon.
Whoa. You're looking at a 5-year deal.
Jeez.
Hey, 5-year deal.
You're lucky to get a 5-minute deal the way you're going, stats boy. Jeez. Anyway, should we do some game previews?
Why not?
Why not?
Just to get away from this talk.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've already hit the AFL weird Quidditch thing. We're talking about Sam Draper, and now you're fired. So, all right.
Yeah. It's been a good run.
The trifecta.
It's been a good run.
Round 8, game previews. Let's do it. Tonight, we've obviously got the showdown. This will be out as that game is going.
Yep.
We previewed in yesterday's show. The Power was 7.5-point favourites. The over under 173.5.
Might have changed.
I still think the over.
Yeah.
And I tipped Adelaide. I just feel like Port with Rosie maybe. Look, he got named.
Yeah,
they're fine.
He won't be as good though as his usual self. I don't think.
They brought in Ryan Burton and Jed McEntee in for Aliir and Sam Pepper.
Changes? No.
For the Crows, they had Butts, Brody Smith and Dan Curtin making his debut.
Yeah,
right?
Dan Curtin. That's very exciting. I'm excited to watch him. Yeah.
Unfortunately, Lukey Pedler.
The fan favourite, my man, got injured.
Shoulder?
Yeah, it was actually. It was. But yeah, he hasn't been very good anyway, so it's not going to worry the Crows too much.
It's a weird one. What were your tips?
Mine was Port by 35. I don't think Adelaide have been horrible. It's just simple as that. People are going, they're going to fire up at some point.
Showdown.
Not tonight.
I think they'll fire up for the showdown.
Yeah.
I think Port by 3, but yeah, it'll be a good game. Port have outs, and yeah, I'm excited to see what Curtin does. So.
Yep.
Nice one. All right, Friday. That's a pretty big game. Carlton, Collingwood.
Talking about rivals. Whew.
The Blues are 8.5-point favourites. Makes me feel a little bit nervous.
If you were 8.5 points up and down, it makes me feel a bit nervous.
The idea, though, like, it's the Pies. Like, I just don't want to be, like, favourites. And
I think
even at 8.5, it feels like it should be like 2.5, to be honest, right? The over-under, 175.5, which is an interesting one. This is a lot to do, I think, with Carlton's horrible defense of late, giving up over 100 points a game in the last 3, second worst in the AFL. It's a weird one. My favourite, I mentioned this on yesterday's show, Carlton haven't beaten the Pies in consecutive games since 2012.
That's right. That is poor.
It's a lot of games.
So you can't win this one. Is what you're saying.
We won round 20 last year. Awesome game.
Yeah.
And yeah, this one I'm a lot more worried, but I'm still going to tip the Blues.
You got to.
Let's do it. Answer the big question for this one. No Jordan De Goey for the Pies. Stats guy. Is he in Bali or the Maldives?
Oh, you got to go with Bali, surely. He loves a bit of Bali.
It's cheaper.
He's done. I don't know, what was his injury? Do we know? I can't remember what it was, but we might not get into that. Partying too hard, maybe. I don't know. He might be in Bali, he might not. We'll see if Instagram posts, I'm sure, and we'll find out all the details on that one.
Nice one. They've lost 16 of the last 17 against reigning premiers.
I put this stat in. That is one of my favourite stats of all time. 16 of 17 against reigning premiers.
That's one of your favourite stats of all time?
It's funny. It's just funny. It's just like we're coming up against teams that know how to win a flag. Oh, crap. For Carlton, we're gonna lose. So
it's like they won the grand final.
They won the grand final. Oh, no. So that was just a pretty funny little one to chuck in there. And then Collingwood have won 8 of the last 10 meetings, but the Blues, as you mentioned, Jim, did win last time by 17 points.
So obviously, in terms of the teams, Carlton, pretty happy to bring back Adam Chera.
Lot of changes.
Huge.
They also get Orazio Fantasia.
That's not a good in. That's a bad in.
David Cunningham, bit of a weird sort of
I don't mind him.
Sort of small forwardy kind of dude. And Alex Chincotta, happy with that. My voice just went weird.
Happy with that.
We move Bins to the bin. Just as well. Ollie Holland's got admitted, which is fine. I think he had he's a speedster. We get that. He didn't really.
He's more of a patchy sort of player.
Much of an impact the last couple of weeks.
Second year, so
he'll be all right. Yeah,
he'll be fine.
Brody Kemp, again, sort of interesting one down back, and Jack Carroll. But that's fine. I'm happy to bring in the 4 that we did. For Collingwood, Lachlan Sullivan, Oleg Markov.
Sullivan debut, which is pretty exciting.
I think he's 26 years old. Spent a lot of time at the Footscray VFL.
Yes.
So,
There's still time for you, Stats Boy.
Yeah, actually, true.
I thought you were like 30.
Yeah.
The way the Roos are playing, you actually might get.
I need the experience.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to go and talk to Clarko and we'll see how we go. But Lockie's
Who's taller, you or Clarko?
I don't know. Probably me. I don't know. I'm pretty tall.
Good one. Yeah. I feel like the under might be in play here. It always feels like these games are just a slog.
You reckon?
Yep.
Oh, the way Carlton defend, though, I'm going over.
And Collingwood's defence was shaky at times against the Bombers last week.
This is true. The way the Carlton have sort of played this year, though, I feel like it feels like the Fremantle game, 73-63 back a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. It could be.
Because I think
what's the weather?
Last week was like Geelong back and forth game, bit of a strange one. I don't know. It's going to be a weird game. I'm still tipping the Blues. Blues by 14.
Leo? By 14. Ooh.
Blues by 8.
Oh, you're both going the Blues.
Yeah.
Just because you did mention before because of the outs.
Yeah, De Goey's out. Tom Mitchell's out.
Yeah. Tom Mitchell, I don't think it's a huge out. De Goey's a big out, obviously. But I'm going to go Pies by 6. I just think they know how to get it done. The Blues might make a late charge. I think it's going to be very similar to the Geelong game where Blues make a late charge, give Jim a little bit of hope, but Pies hold on because they know how to win.
It's the hope that kills you.
They know how to win the big games, the Pies, so I'm going them.
That's my go-to. It's the hope that kills you. Saturday, the Battle of the Bridge.
Yes.
We have Sydney versus GWS Giants.
Some big ins here.
Boy. It is a half-point line in favour of the Swans. This is at 145 of the SCG. The over-under is 175.5 as well. Ins and outs. We've got Dane Rampy coming in for the Swans, but for the Giants. That's a big voice for a Giant. Sam Taylor and Toby Green. They're pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah, 2 best players probably. Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Good size. Ollie Florent 150th game. He also just signed his extension.
Good timing for him. Yeah,
it's a bit of a celebration.
Here's to 150 more.
Few tens.
Exactly.
All right, take us through some stats, boy.
Oh, why not? GWS have won 4 of the last 5 matches against Sydney at the SCG. So obviously Sydney are a really good home team, but when it comes to the Battle of the Bridge, they get a bit nervous there, and they do lose a few games there. Then 4 of the last 5 meetings between these sides have come between, oh my God, I can't talk. Less than 3 goals was the margin between these two, 4 of the last 5, which is pretty exciting. Big rivalry, and you love that really close games.
Nice one.
Love it.
Remember, we understand that it's the Battle of the Bridge that is in the Harbour Bridge.
Is that to Alex?
I only realised that not that long ago. But
it's like every time, it's the other. Yes, we get it. We get it. Jeez. It's not the Harbour Bridge battle. Anyway, the big question for this one, I love this.
Tread carefully here, but yes.
Will Sydney players celebrate with Sam Wicks? This is good.
That was so awkward. Obviously, we don't know anything about what's going on in their club, but he literally kicked a goal, and at least someone give him a bum tap or give him a high five.
I reckon a Hawthorn player was closer to giving
They were. He walked from the goal square all the way to the wing. They didn't even look at him. They got the water. They were in a little huddle.
It was a hologram.
They looked straight through him. It was so awkward. So I don't know what's going on there. A lot of people don't know what's going on there. That was just awkward. And and then someone has said, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with the culture." Get around your guy that your teammates just kicked a goal. That's just weird.
It was definitely some old mate, no mates.
Yeah, it was.
Who's your mate, Sam?
Yes.
He's like, I've got no mates.
Yeah.
Not
It
anymore.
was sad, yeah.
It's a tough one. Just walk around.
I might have to put that in later, but something I'm keeping an eye on. I think if people celebrate with Sam Wicks.
That was literally the big question, so good job.
No, I'm saying for keep an eye on in the segment
Okay,
later.
tips. I'm going to go GWS by 11.
Giants by 15.
Oh, we'll go in the middle. GWS by 12. I can't believe we're all
The
tipping
middle's
the
actually
Giants.
13.
Oh, sorry. I can't believe we're all tipping the Giants. Alex isn't here, so no one's tipping Sydney.
Thank God.
Look,
As
I
the
think
favourites.
the Giants' record against the Swansea SCG is the thing that tips me off. They're also playing really, really well.
I think, Sydney losing to Richmond, and then they've had a couple of shaky games. Obviously, they looked really good and smashed a lot of teams, the other ones, but I think you got to go GWS just on form.
Getting Taylor back as well to bring down, at least cover up one of
and he comes off his man a lot. And then Toby Green back in is huge.
I love it. St Kilda, North Melbourne. The Saints are 36.5-point favourites against the Roos. The over-under is 174.5. This is a marvel in the very nice time frame of
I like this time.
4:35 p.m.
Yeah.
This is a weird one.
As always between Saints and North.
It really is. The fact that it's at Marvel, obviously, and this isn't like somewhere in Tassie or something.
Two Melbourne
I'm going to tip my hand. I'm going to tip North. But take us through this one, Stats Guy. What are we looking at?
It is a bit of a weird one. North were leading. I was at this game. The second one was actually a decent game by, I think it was up by 20 and leading most of the game and then crumbled at the end, which happened a lot last year. There was about 6 or 7 games where North led the whole way through and then crumbled. So it was really close and Saints were horrible both times they played last time. The other game before that, I think it was like 60-30 or 60-35. Where it was probably the worst game I've ever been to in my life. So I'm expecting to see a really bad game here, which is weird on a preview, but just both teams do a lot of turnovers. Saints, though, I think the line is too big, but they should win this pretty easy. They're a much better side. They have shown glimpses of being a final side, glimpses, when they beat Collingwood, and that was when Collingwood weren't going too well, but surely they beat North pretty comfortably.
Yeah,
I don't know if they've showed too much.
Sorry, not about final side, but glimpses of being a lot better than North, obviously, because North haven't won a game. So, yeah.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be at some point where North just go, right, this just enough. And Clarko goes, I actually should pay attention while I'm coaching this one. And away they go. The big question here, Clarko versus Ross the boss. Which coach is under more pressure or which coach is more overrated?
That's a good question.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that in there. I was like, it's a tough one to answer because I've been rattling my brain about it since I put it in there.
Right now, Clarko's more overrated. Ooh. But I don't think either are under pressure.
How many flags has Ross got, to be fair?
That's why I said right now.
Yeah.
All right, good one.
Yeah.
Good chat, everybody.
Hey, I provided something.
I know, so that's why it's just ooh.
Sorry. I'm saying I said Clarko has more flags, so I'm saying that Ross is a bit more overrated. He plays too defensively to be a winning team. Yep. He's never going to be back to where he was because the style of AFL, the style of AFL has changed. He needs to be more attacking.
I think if the Roos actually win this, then the blowtorch actually does start to get starting to get applied to Ross a little bit more and just go, yo, what are you doing?
I'm having a big weekend.
What is happening?
If North win against the Saints.
You should be having a big weekend anyway.
All right.
All right, tips. I'm going North by 4. I think they hold on.
What are you doing, mate?
They hold on to an absolute thriller. It's absolute chaos. The Suva goes bang, away we go.
Don't do it to yourselves.
North by 12. Come on, Stats Guy.
Stats Guy.
I reckon it'll be close all game and then they'll kick a sealer in the last minute. North fans will erupt Marvel Stadium.
I'll be happy either way. I get my tip if Saints win. No, I won't be happy if Saints win.
That is such a cop-out.
Saints by 29. I'm actually doing the...
Fake fan.
Not a fake fan. That's just they're going to...
What about North Ball?
No.
Clarko Ball.
Clarko Ball. Yeah.
Cheese Ball.
Cheese Ball is good.
Cheese Ball's way better. Melbourne Geelong, Saturday night at the MCG. Geelong are 2.5-point favourites. They are unbeaten after all. I don't think they will be after this game. I think what I saw from Geelong, their contested ball, lack of speed, I think with a half-decent defence, Carlton would have won that game. Yep. Carlton's defence has obviously been horrible. Melbourne can play a little bit of defence. I love this entire idea.
Call, yeah.
The big question here for me is, can Lever and May slow down Jezza and Tomahawk? The problem is, then there's also Ollie Henry.
Gary Rowan's in.
I'm going to say...
Rowan.
Yep.
Oh, we didn't do the teams for the last one.
Yes. No, that's all right.
Nothing notable.
Is there anything notable? Let me have a quick look at North.
Webster,
Biggie
Wood.
dropped.
Max King.
Max King is back from suspension.
Mason Wood's back. That's two really big ins for the Saints, actually.
They do lose Higgins, obviously, to the suspension.
Yeah.
Biggie out is also huge because you might actually defend now.
Dylan Stevens.
True.
Omitted. Amazing. So Toby Pink, Liam Shields, Jackson Archer, and Jaden Stevenson come back in from
they're
Sleevo.
Horrible ins, anyway.
Anyway. All right. But for this one, the Cats bring back Tom Stewart, Gary Rowan, and Jai Clark in place of Brandon Parfitt. Danger, who injured his hammy.
Hammy, yep.
And Mark O'Connor.
Stewart back is obviously huge. Rowan, you never know what you're going to get with him the last year or so, but surely you can find some.
But it's just another player to defend, right? Like he's always going to be an attacking option.
So quick as well.
Add in Gryan, add in Ollie Henry, Tyson Stenkel, Brad Close. That is a great forward line.
Yep.
That's a lot to cover.
I love Ollie Henry. He's awesome.
Great,
I hate him, but I love him. We've also got because Ollie Henry just wanged Zach Williams late in that game.
Yes, so you don't like him, yeah.
Look, I was ready to drive down to Ocean Grove.
He hit him, but it was very soft. But
was that the one where Williams flopped?
Yeah, he did flop a bit.
Jim.
We got into that last week.
Never flopped. We covered this. He got hit a lot.
Apparently,
it was bad.
Hit by a ghost.
We should have won.
Robbed. Umpires.
Umpires. Yeah.
Fix the AFL.
Either way.
Monday night games.
This is Jim Bingo now. Talk us through the stats here, Stats Boy.
Geelong, talking about over-unders, last 10 matches have gone over the total points line, which is pretty interesting. Jezza obviously is a big part of that. He's just been firing goals and you can't stop him. So in the answer to your big question, I think they won't stop Jezza. They can stop Tomahawk. This season he's
Tomahawk
started to
stop himself.
Stop himself because he looks a lot slower this year, which is a bit sad, but he's going to come to an end at some point. And then Melbourne, they've won the last 2 home games against the Cats. So Cats they have a shocking record at GMHBA. They've played a lot down there, but when the Cats have come to the G against them, they don't go too well. So yeah, probably helps your tip. Yeah.
I'm taking the Demons by 16. I think just the speed, Melbourne is such a weird, confounding team.
Very good.
But they keep winning.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, sure, keep doing that. Like the way they just smoked Richmond last week. That was pretty
ugly though.
It was. The first half was.
It was a tough first half. I think they bounced back. I think they're just a little bit tougher. I think Geelong finally drop a game here. So Melbourne by 16. Leo?
Cats by 9. I just think Tom Stewart back in is a huge in, especially with Melbourne's forward entries being appalling. So
yeah, they just bomb it in, don't they? Yeah, I'm agreeing with Leo. Cats by 5. I think this will be really close, but under a goal I'm going for. And I just think they've got too many, like I think you said during the week on one of our shows, every guy plays their role. You got Melbourne, if you look at some of the lesser guys, they don't play too well. But every single guy, even other than sort of Jai Clark, I'd say he's the only guy that they've sort of brought in where you go, oh, he wasn't very good. Every other guy is getting 15 touches and pretty much hits a target every time. So got to go the Cats. They look awesome.
The Cats do look loaded. I just think this is the one thing where it's just like, a couple of weeks of tough games.
Yeah.
Where they're up in the rain against Brisbane. They go back and forth in a massive game against the Blues.
Yeah.
It could go either way this game. It's a very, very close matchup.
There we have West Coast Essendon, the Sheedy game.
Yes.
Get your scarves out. 12.5-point favourites for Essendon. That doesn't seem correct.
I'll double check it, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
That can't be right.
I'll check right now.
Maybe 32.5. We might.
I think it is because everyone's on the stupid West Coast bandwagon that they're good again because they won a couple of games.
Are people on that bandwagon?
They are.
Whoa, Harley Reid.
Just like Harley Reid.
That's my point about the betting. People are betting on them.
All right, ins and outs for this.
There you go.
12.5. That's amazing.
That's ridiculous.
All right, ins for the Eagles. They've got Tom Barras, Noah Long, Harley Reid, and Harvey Johnson. Archie Perkins and Guelphy come back in for Essendon, and Draper's out injured, and Nick Hind is bad.
Nick Hind is bad.
So
Nick Hind was just dropped.
No, he's got a plumbing job on.
Van Alexander Road that he's going to fix up tomorrow night. So,
Great Essendon Road
backed up
reference.
toilet,
Jim.
away we go. This is a really strange game. Like over under 168.5, Essendon could kick 130.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Right.
I reckon this will hit the
I
over.
feel like this smashes the over because I think the Eagles have put up a couple of scores of late.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Essendon's defense is really that much chop. So I feel like the over is easily the best play here.
You got Waterman in awesome form. He'll
Waterman,
kick a
the
few
G
snags.
train, the J train turning like heads left, right, and center. I love
J-train,
this.
I like it.
I do love the big question for this one.
I'll chuck this one in, yeah.
Who wins a final first out of West Coast and Essendon?
Gotta be Essendon.
Gotta be.
I think it's the curse. I'm going West
Gotta
Coast
be.
because it's just funny.
Out there, you're like, who would go West Coast?
Mate, it's all for the show. It's all we're going to talk about. Essendon. What is it? How many years is it now? About
20?
20 something. Yeah, something like that. They haven't won a final.
04, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, 20,
yes.
there you go.
So 20. Yeah.
Simple maths.
West Coast. Oh, I still think they're way off, but Essendon just don't know how to win.
Essendon
I
win
don't
the
think
final
Essendon
first.
are in the top 16.
The thing is, though, if you look at the average age, I would confidently say that Eagles have a higher average age than Essendon.
Yeah, because you got McAllion.
And you've got Essendon performing a lot better, which means they'll be in the window for longer.
Yep.
West Coast, they've got a lot of old guys that'll drop off.
He's just trying
He's
to
taking
convince
it
himself.
seriously. This is great.
Yeah, why not?
No, this
To be fair, Leo
is
did-
literally just a chance to dump on Essendon,
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what I
what we
said.
should
Yeah.
be taking at every opportunity. Essendon should win a final first before the team that nearly went.
Harley
winless
Reid
last
is going
year.
to take him to a flag, apparently, according to everyone. So.
Where are you seeing these comments? I've not
I'm
seen
telling you,
any of
everyone.
these.
The AFL literally had a Harley Reid in
Yeah,
there.
because
in
they're
their thing.
celebrating Harley Reid, not West Coast.
It's just a bit suspicious for the AFL.
All right, stats
Rigged.
boy, stats.
For this one, Essendon 3-5 in their last 8 at Optus Stadium, but the Essendon Bombers, I don't know why I said it like that, have beaten the Eagles 2 of the last 3 times there. So they're not too bad at Optus Stadium, the Bombers, and they've also won their last 9 games as favourite. So pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty good form, the Bombers.
Not bad.
All right, tip.
Bombers by 34.
Ooh, I'm going Bombers by 30.
Galaxy Brain. Bombers by 50.
Oh, I was going to say, surely not even the West
Okay.
Coast.
The dot is in there.
I literally thought this I thought it through. I'm looking at all these
Don't do
different
it,
angles.
Jim.
I'm like, we can get there. We're doing this one. Come on, West Coast. No, it's the Bombers.
Well, you've already Galaxy Brain the North pick anyway.
I did.
That's not Galaxy brand. That's just going to happen.
Oh, I hope so.
There is a case where you go, look, West Coast have looked very, very solid. That's fine. Essendon have been very up and down. We understand that. You go out west, anything can happen weirdly out there in Perth. We know
True.
that. I just think Essendon is still good enough and quality enough, especially in attack.
Especially what they showed against the Pies. They played really well. Probably should have won.
Yeah, as long as we don't see like what we saw last time we saw the Bombers go west, it was to Adelaide, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
saw them
there.
at
We were
Port.
there. That was
Take on
horrible.
Port, they were horrible.
Well, they played Adelaide there, didn't they? 2 weeks ago? Or
Yes, yes.
That
And
was
then
at the Adelaide Oval. They won that game. So there you go. 1-1 in the last 2 going west.
Someone
I think
died
they
on
win
the
this.
table.
There's more West.
Bombers by 50. Sunday, Richmond Freo
Another
at the
blockbuster.
MCG, 1 p.m. Look at this is like, I don't know what, a Freo team that's 2 goal favourites against a Tigers team that doesn't seemingly have any players left. But,
They might ask you, stats guy, soon.
Yeah.
well, they lost
No,
Jacob
played well.
Hopper as well, right? So
Yeah.
he's out. They bring in extended benches, Jaden Short, Steely Green, the best name in the AFL right
Steely
now.
Green.
Is it?
What a name. I love that as
Is that
well.
a good name?
Yeah.
Kay McAuliffe, Taylor Sonsi, Samson Ryan. Freo, bring back Jaymz. Love that. Neil Erasmus, Ethan Hughes.
Yeah. I like Raz.
I love that you miss Jaymz. A miss. Everything's a miss here. I love that he's back. I think he could kick it
He's great, yeah.
back this weekend at the MCG. Over under is 162.5. I'm probably going to go the under. That's just one of those ones you're like, yeah, Freo look pretty shocking at times, and Richmond aren't much chop either.
Yeah, when Freo win, they literally just scrounge it. They work really hard to get over the line, but their midfield does the work, not their forwards mainly, yeah.
The big question, is there going to be anyone at this game?
I put it in there because Richmond fans haven't been turning up there.
Tigers fans!
Yeah, where are you? Oh, we're bad.
We're not
Obviously.
good this year. We're not going to go. Oh, yellow and black. What happened to that? What happened to your spirit, Tigers fans?
Yeah.
Geez, Jimmy, you're up and about. Carlton are good. Yes!
But Carlton, to be fair, Carlton always turn up.
Can't
Even when they're
always
bad.
show up. Richmond
have
lift
a-
your game.
they have 100,000
We won
members,
3
yeah.
flags, Jim. Don't care. You should care. Get there to support the boys. What are you doing? Come on, get a grip. Anyway.
I knew that question would fire up. That was good.
I do love it. Look, this is like, it makes the, suburban ground idea perfect. Anytime you have like a Freo,
Play at Punt Road.
off you go.
That'd be
Just
sick.
down the road. Would they pack out Punt Road? That's the question.
They definitely would pack up Punt
Are you
Road.
sure?
Yes.
We'll see how we go. Anyway, this is a weird one. Stats guy, take us through some stats.
No worries. Tigers only lost one of their last 7 against Freo. So a bit of a bogey
One was a
team.
draw, though.
One
I
was a
think,
draw,
Marvel.
so the stat is a bit skewed. But then you take it still 2 of the last 7 they haven't won, so that's really good by Tigers, which really surprised me. Then you got Freo 3-2 in their last 5 of the MCG, so not too bad. A lot of teams have really bad records at the G, but Freo positive at
They're
least.
playing at the G.
I'm not sure, but I know that's correct. If you want to question me, Leo, that's all right. We'll go to
fact check
We'll go
that
to
one.
court. We'll go to
Fact
court.
check. All right. Tip here. I'm going to go Freo by 34. I think they just
Jeez.
run over the top of them, and Tigers really struggle to score.
Freo by 17. I'll go half that.
Oh, I'll go less than that again. Freo by 10. I just think Tigers, they've been solid at the G. They obviously beat Sydney. They got within, 20-something points to Port. I think Port are a much better side than Freo. Yeah, I think they can hold on, but they won't win.
Another game between traditional rivals, the Bulldogs and the Hawks.
What?
Sure. 24.5-point favourites are the Dogs. That feels about right after Hawthorn got slapped all over
Should
the
be
park
more,
at the
I think.
MCG on Sunday. The thing is, like, the Dogs, you never know where you're going to get.
Well, they lost last week, so they probably should win.
Exactly, right? That's how it goes. They are the Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump of the AFL world. You never know where you're going to
I was
get.
going to say the Pauline Hanson, the flip-flop.
Yeah.
The over-under 170.5. Weird one for Marvel. I feel like under the roof,
Under the
over
dome.
roof, they could probably go over. I feel like Hawthorn might be able to keep up just enough.
I don't think we can.
a tricky one.
We just can't score. Like, we kicked, 5 goals, 12 last week. Like,
Interesting.
great.
Sydney are a better side than the Dogs, though.
The big question, though, who gets bevoed this week? Bailey Dale, as soon as everyone's brought him in for SuperCoach.
Oh, Leo brought him in, I think, yeah.
No, not
Bont.
yet. Not yet, but yeah.
They obviously, in terms of the teams, they lose Cody Waitman out for 6 weeks with his
That's a
bung
big
elbow.
injury.
But
But they have Jamara Ugle-Hagan coming back, Tom Liberatore coming back, everyone's favourite bloke who looks like he should be from Ballarat, Oscar Baker, Caleb Poulter, Charlie Clark.
Which Charlotte is it debut?
Debut,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a debut.
Small
But
forward.
that might be, that's the extended bench, isn't it? So when
And
yeah, not sure.
cool
I think he is
part-
debuting, but might be sub.
Okay.
For the Hawks is that we've actually got 2 debutants as well.
Maybe.
Maybe, if they actually play Culture Deer
Yep.
and
What a
Ethan
name.
Phillips.
That's a
Joining Josh Wood, Nick Watson and Massimo D'Ambrosio.
Also, Ginnivan's 50th game.
Oh,
Should we rank
Should
them?
we rank all of Ginnivan's 50
Rank
games?
all 50.
Obviously, the Anzac Day is number 1 when he won the Anzac Day medal.
Not the grand final last year.
There's no games at the Hawks there yet. That's
Why?
right.
Oh,
He's top
jeez.
50.
All right, stats, guys, stats.
Oh, right, okay, sorry. I wasn't ready for that.
do my
Is that
job.
what I'm supposed
What
to
are
do?
they, Jim?
Oh,
Jeez.
jeez. Hawks, they won by 3 points in the last meeting. Obviously, Leo was up and about. That was in Tassie
Yeah, I
and
went to that.
Launceston.
Loved it.
But they've lost 5 of the last 7 meetings against the Dogs.
I think
Hawks,
didn't Leo go walkabout in the bush down there in Tassie for like 5 days after
went-
that?
yeah.
I did go on a hike.
Shirt
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
He was just like
didn't have shirt off, but
just dressed like coloured in the
Hawks
Brown and gold.
colours.
the worst colours known to man.
I was going to say other words there, so that's all right.
Brown- yeah. Anyway, Hawks, worst offense in the comp, as Leo mentioned. I think they'll struggle to keep up with the score here, as the Dogs have a really good forward line with Jamara back in.
Yeah, Jamara could actually have a field day, I feel like.
He hasn't
There were-
gone big yet this year, so I
There
reckon
were
he can,
moments
yeah.
against Sydney where like Sydney just share it around so much that you kind of feel like, even a Marty though, at times you're like, is he going to kick like 6?
Yeah.
Like what is happening? And McDonald was just smashing everything in, right? So anyway, interesting setup. I'm going to go the Dogs by 24.
Cover
Leo,
the line, the Hawks, you're saying?
I think so too.
I think the Dogs by 10 goals here.
Whoa.
62.
There's no Mitch Lewis,
Jeez.
no Marbia Chol. There is
Mario Chol doesn't do anything, but anyway.
But you need big
Some-
forwards
true.
to structure up.
Yeah.
There is no structure there. I'll get into this later, but Liam Jones is going to have a massive day out, and I think Dogs will smash him.
Okay.
Nice one. That's boy.
Yeah, I think they'll smash them, not by that much. 39 points, I'm going with the Dogs. Just, yeah, as Leo said, I think the Dogs can put up 110 plus and Hawks can get
Hawks just
nowhere near
can't,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Nice one. Finally, the Q Clash.
Here we go.
Another storied rivalry, which is actually a bit of a rivalry.
Yeah, it's been good.
The Lions, somehow, are 12.5-point favourites,
I'll double check that one as well, but I think that's right.
which is weird because they're 2-5. And Gold Coast are 4-3 and playing substantially better football. So this is what? What time is this on Sunday?
Did I write it in there?
quite late,
No.
I believe.
7:10.
7:10 p.m. Eastern.
I didn't write it in there, yeah.
And the over-under 162.5, I believe.
Yes.
Craziest part is Suns. They're 3-16 all time at the Gabba.
Not great.
Well,
That's
yeah,
not
they've
good.
lost their last 8 at the Gabba, but 3-16 all time. That is pretty bad. But you could say in that period, a lot of teams would have a really bad record. Not as bad as the Suns.
You could say a lot of things.
Yeah, you could.
But the ins and outs, Oscar McInerney, Logan Morris, Jared Lyons, Harry Sharp, Bruce.
The first Bruce I've heard in a long time.
He's the first Bruce to ever play for Brisbane. Love that.
That is crazy.
What a legend. Bruce Reveal,
Revel, I think.
Revel.
Yeah.
Revel Sport. In for Tunstall and Calamarchi. So obviously the extended bench. But I love Bruce. He's got awesome hair.
Awesome hair,
Papua
yeah.
New Guinean. Just
Yeah,
absolutely gnarly. Let's go. And for the Suns, Alex Sexton's back
On the extended bench.
on the extended bench. For the sub to be named later. Ethan Reed, Ben Long, and Joel Jeffrey also
Sounds like he was
joining.
announcing a movie there. Coming this summer. Sexton as the
world.
sub. In a world.
In a world where
where
Bailey
Sexton is the
Humphrey is
sub.
managed, in comes Alex Sexton. I am fascinated by this game. Not, there's a few options, right? You have an incredible offense that has completely been just horrible all year.
13th in offense, Jim, the Brisbane Lions, which they're
Absolutely
always
horrible.
first or second the last couple of years.
Just has not clicked. Gold Coast defense has been solid, if not spectacular. But their midfield has been fantastic, and their forward line has been
Pretty good.
randomly good.
Yeah.
Where you're like, is that Luke Kosher's kicking a bag now? Sure.
They just Ben King's
King
been
was
awesome.
very good last week.
He's third in the Common, yeah.
The big question here, though, is will Took and Zorko shake hands? Rah-rah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
They didn't last time. I don't think.
Zorko's a little bit of a crybaby.
He is.
Yeah.
He was one of the worst captains, I think, when he was captain, because he would just start fights. What did it all start again between those two? Was it?
I think
did it start
Took
because
was
they didn't shake
tagging
hands?
him.
Took was tagging
And
him.
then
okay.
Zorko didn't like
Zorko got a bit of a
after the
cry. Yeah.
game.
Didn't shake hands.
Took was trying to shake his hands. Zorko
Yeah.
was in his face, pointing at him.
Yeah. What a sook.
Remember it like it was yesterday.
Have a sook, mate.
It helps the rivalry though, which is good.
It really does.
Well, it is rivalry round. So.
Yeah, sort of.
It does feel like this should be a bounce back spot for the Brisbane Lions.
Surely.
But I don't think they can beat Gold Coast. I think Gold Coast win this in a thriller by 5.
Ooh.
It could be down
Jump
6. Goal after the siren. Noah Anderson, Eustace.
Bring back what's his name? Carmichael. Bring him for a goal after the
I
side.
love it. But I reckon this game could be incredible. I am fascinated, though, because if they lose this, Gold Coast, it literally just turns into don't play anywhere but people's first.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Or Darwin. They're very
Can they
good at
just
Darwin.
get someone to bring the trumpet to do the
yeah.
after they kick a goal?
Yeah, and then they're like, oh crap, we're playing at home.
I love that it's like, who let the dogs out? It's the same timbre. And like, it does
Who let the Suns out?
Who let the Suns out? It's like, awesome. But let's do it. Anyway, Stats Boy, who are you picking in this one?
I've got to go to the Lions. I think I've tipped them almost every time they play at the Gabba. They're, what are they, 0-3? Is that? I think that's
I
right.
believe so this
yeah,
year.
which is horrible. They didn't even lose a game there last year. I remember a few of us said they won't lose a game at the Gabba this year. That they've already lost their
Well,
3.
that's a pretty informed thing to say at the start of the year.
It is, because they look really good. A few of us tipped them for the flag. They're not even going to make the finals. Anyway, Lions by 15. I think they're still a better side. It's going to click eventually. They've got all these guys in their prime that shouldn't be playing this bad. So
Gold Coast are good.
Gold Coast are good.
Gold Coast are
at
good at
home.
home.
At home. Yeah, that's the other thing. Gold Coast just
But this is
struggle
just
away.
up the road, down the road, up the road.
Up the road, I think,
Yeah,
yeah.
up the
So yeah, Lions by 15. Eventually got there.
Doing some geography. Anyway, Leo.
Lions by 4. I reckon Bruce Reveal goal after the siren.
Oh, Jesus.
Lock it in.
Brucey
That's
boy.
awesome.
Lock it in.
start.
Is it how many Bruces have kicked goals after the siren? Well, I'll find that out for the
Bruce
next show.
Dool.
Yeah. That's the
That's
only
the
one I
Kick
can
it,
think of
and
as
they'll
well.
just rub his hair.
Righto. Big calls for round 8. Sam Walsh has 40 plus touches this weekend against the Pies and then goes on to win the Brownlow.
Oh, I'd get stuffed about the Brownlow, but he could have 40 touches.
Don't win the Brownlow.
I love that he just gives the rest of the
There's a guy
field a
called
bit of a
Patrick
head
Cripps
start.
in
He's
there.
just like,
Sorry.
all right, boys, you have a head start. I'll catch it, no worries. He might have racked up 2-3 vote games already.
Depends on Cripper.
Depends. But
I think they steal each other's votes a lot.
They do a little bit.
So that's
he
gonna-
might not, but it's a big call.
Exactly.
Prove me
that's-
wrong,
we-
Sam Walsh. No, prove me right.
Prove me
Go
right.
win it. Go win it.
Don't win the Brownlow.
Legend. All right, Stats Boy.
Max Gawn, 25 plus disposals and a goal versus Geelong. I don't think Reece Stanley is a good ruckman. Max Gawn is the best ruckman in the competition. He's been tearing it up. I reckon he's going to get 180 plus SuperCoach as well. I reckon he's going to have an absolute field day. 40, because what did he get last week? 160. He got 159 the week before. He's been awesome in SuperCoach. So he's just been playing so well.
I feel like the big call should be he's one of the top 3 greatest ruckmen of all time.
Ooh. Yeah. That's another discussion.
Rank your ruckman.
Yeah.
All time.
Got some good ruckmans. Jim Stein's got to be up there. He's won a Brownlow. Gawn hasn't won a Brownlow. Yeah. Reeves. Lloyd Meek.
Draper.
Just Tristan Sherry, I think's on there. Yeah.
Not bad. All right, we'll do that next week.
Yeah, all right. Why not?
Justin Madden.
Yeah.
I love it.
Goldie. Sandilands.
Big call.
Dean Cox. Sorry, you got me.
Just name ruckman.
Dean Cox, yeah. Sandilands. Nick Nat, yeah. Me, but in under 12s.
He runs out of gas very quickly, does our stats boy. Leo, big call.
Liam Jones will have 8 intercept marks against Hawthorn. So he averages under 4 intercept marks so far this year. My thinking behind this is Hawthorn have no key forwards, and if they do play the key forwards, we think they're very inexperienced.
Who's going to be starting at full forward?
Probably Jack Dunstan, who's very old and
won't
be able to run with
That's
Liam
true.
Jones. But yeah, Jones will just control the airways. If Hawthorn are to win this, they need to just literally dribble the ball inside 50. Or else Jones will take 8 intercept marks.
It's true. Yeah, I reckon that's not a bad game plan.
They should try it.
Don't try and hit the target.
No kicks down the line, just absolutely just shank it. And see where it goes.
On purpose.
Well, last week, Hawthorn, it was a lot of like, all right, we'll just try to, hopefully Chol will do something.
And he didn't.
And he did not do
he's
anything.
been very good, yeah.
Ginnivan popped up here and there, but it was just like not much going on.
Yeah.
It was pretty sad. Keep an eye on what are we looking for this week. I love this idea. Gold Coast and Greater Western Sydney.
Yep.
To make in-state statements. They're like
We're
the 2
the big
expansion
dogs,
clubs.
yep.
We're finally playing the other teams where we might be in a position of power.
Yep.
Like the fact that GWS and Sydney have not had like the same good record literally any time they've played. Now they're both, 6-1 or whatever. This is awesome.
It's so exciting.
So if they win that game, they are legit. I said, 5 weeks ago, GWS are the best team in the comp. No one's realised it. I still believe that.
Yep.
So prove me wrong, Sydney, I guess, but don't do it because I tipped GWS. And Gold Coast is the same thing. Like the Lions, the incumbent Queensland team, Gold Coast, the trash kits, the awesome trumpet, radical midfield. Let's go. Let's go, Sons.
Yep.
I might just buy a membership for the GWS Giants and Gold Coast as well. I'll get 4 seats to the grand final.
Like Infinity Stones. He's going to rack them up.
Oh my God.
All right. Other things we're keeping an eye on, Stats Guy.
You chucked this one in there, Leo, the Pies?
Yeah, Pies new look mid. So no DeGoey, no Mitchell. Want to see how they structure up in there. Does Lipinski get more time? Lockie Sullivan?
Been really good forward, which will be interesting.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going to hate McCreary so much more. I already hate him
He's such
so much.
He's such a jet. I like watching him.
No one brought him up.
Yeah. No one even said McCreary. He's like, McCreary.
Just McCreary. Like, flashes of me there at the game tomorrow just going, McCreary.
If you see a guy with his fist in the air go,
it's another ginger just going, oh, jeez.
We'll definitely see you on the broadcast, I reckon.
Definitely. If you do see the sign language interpreter, it's not me.
I thought that was you.
No, you know how many photos we've got sent, and
I thought I was going to.
I've got photos sent to me about it as well. That's
It's not me.
Yeah.
Kind of wish it was.
Any
I should actually, to be honest.
I told one of my mates that it was you, and I said he just does it all. He works on the weekends.
Jack of all trades. That's what it all is.
No days off.
Actually, the squid, he's 5. He's learned way more sign language than I've ever learned.
Really?
He's just like rattling stuff up. He's like, Dad, do you know what that is? I'm like, no.
Oh.
You're smarter than me.
Through school? That's cool.
He gave his own podcast.
Yeah, why not?
And what else? Freo travelling to the G. That's another big one.
Oh, sort of. They got a pretty good record there, but it'll just be interesting against the Tigers.
Because like Tigers, they beat Sydney there. Like Freo obviously lost to West Coast 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so
they need to bounce
They
back.
really need to respond here.
How is keep an eye on not something to do with Melbourne Geelong? It's top 4 clash.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
you can update the run sheet as well.
I can.
Oh, man.
I also am. I'm the brains of this operation, so let's go. But
how
1
you know
versus
we're
4. I
watching
think this is a
Yeah.
fascinating because this is literally
Best game of the round.
like Carlton Geelong was an incredible game at the end till it all fell apart. But this is like a
was a great
really,
game.
really good test for both, right? Like it's like, hey, Melbourne, are you legit? Come on, man.
There'll be an
And
article,
Geelong,
Jim. They'll
they'll
learn
be
a lot
something.
about these sides.
Exactly.
Everyone says that. We'll learn a lot about them.
Learn a lot about him.
The other one was Sam Wicks. I just wanted to mention him again. Just want to see. Just want to see.
He's in their head, mate.
No, I will be watching him like a hawk. When he kicks a goal, I just want to see if
you
anyone
have a
gets
crush
around
on
him.
him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, we'll get into that later.
Nice. All right, some quick SuperCoach tips, vibes, thoughts. Captain's Corner, what are you doing? How are you rolling the captains? I said, Walsh shouldn't have gone before. I feel okay
mind
about that. Walsh, as I just said, hopefully 40 plus against the Pies tomorrow night.
Yeah,
that'll be fun.
And the Brownlow, yeah.
Walsh into Gawn. So if Walsh tops out around 125?
Yeah, take it.
You probably still take it.
Yep.
Anything less than that, you roll into Gawn maybe, and just like fingers crossed. That's where I'm at. I've also got Sarong now, so it's kind of like, do I go vice captain Gawn on Saturday night, Sarong Sunday captain? I don't know.
Gawn slightly more reliable.
Don't make the Sarong decision.
The Sarong decision. That's all right. Just put it with a bit of chest layer. That was all right.
Anyway, stats guy.
Vice captaining Gawn and then going into Sarong, as you guys just mentioned.
Nice.
Tigers mids have been getting demolished. And then a few other ones. Jordan Sweet, everyone's trying to bring him in.
Got to get him in.
Because he's going to go up at least 90K this week.
We're talking captains. What else?
Oh, just captains. All right. Righto.
Walsh into Bontempelli.
Nice.
Ooh.
Really? Do you reckon Bont goes massive against the Hawks?
Yeah, I think so. He's been a bit quiet to start the year.
I reckon he can get Bevo. Bevo just goes, we're smashing him by 60. Just goes stand up.
He could. They never really sub out Bont. I think Bont's like, I'm the captain.
No, just send him down forward.
Oh, send him down forward.
Yeah,
but then he could kick 5.
Yeah, probably would.
Yeah.
All right, the rest of the Supercoach gears, obviously Jordan Sweet for the power tonight.
Yep.
He's the biggest in of, what is it, Closey and then Sweet. Sweet has come in for how many teams? I did see that before.
I did see it because I've brought him in there. It doesn't let me see
I
it.
can't see it too.
Oh, here we go. 46,000.
Jeez.
So that's 23% of teams have brought him in this week.
Closey's in 65% now. So anyway, but Sweet, that's pretty good. You've also got Rogers for Gold Coast, named a game.
Yeah, I got him in this week. I think I'm
going to pass on him.
I just
don't want to use a boost.
He pushes up into that midfield as that extra half forward mid. So I think he can get a few touches in there.
Yep, named on the half forward flank, which is kind of neat. And what primos are we targeting at this point?
It's a tricky one.
I mentioned Sarong, so
don't mind that. Yeah.
To bring in Sweet, I traded Grundy out just to get the cash, say goodbye to Sharp, say goodbye to Carroll. Sarong comes in, Rogers comes in,
perfect,
and Sweet comes in. So it was an interesting toss-up though, because talking about Bont, I'm like, Bont could smash it against the Hawks. He's actually a little bit cheaper than Sarong, which is crazy to think. But his break-even is still over 120.
Yep.
And if he does have a slightly downish sort of game against the Hawks,
could go down.
Like if he goes down to if he only manages 110, he'll still dip a little bit.
Even if he gets 125, he's only going up $1,000.
Exactly. So
true.
It's a bit hard. So yeah, I went with Sarong just because I think he probably doesn't dip lower than this year.
Fair.
Because he could rip off 140 against the Tigers.
Yep.
Primos, you're targeting there, Stats Boy?
Oh, I just brought in Tom Green. Everyone's got him already, but I just never had a chance to get him. He went down in price last week because of his big break even. So just good time to get him, I think. And then his break even now is 91. He's going to clear the 91. It's going to go back up. So I think this was a good week. Under 600K for one of the best mids in the comp. So
love that, Leo.
Considering Daily Bale.
Bailey.
Bailey.
That rattled me for a bit.
The only worry with him is he might get bevoed.
Yep. No, I don't. Yeah, I think he's been one of their best players.
Literally 3 weeks
but
ago.
then he's pulled off 175, 132, and against Hawthorn, who Sydney's halfbacks had a field day last week.
Yep.
That's a great call.
Got to consider it.
Maybe
he's only 470 something, isn't he? 475?
Around mid 400. Yeah.
Maybe I could transfer all of mine and just go Goulden and Bailey Dale and jump in. Maybe I can do that right now. Anyway,
let's get it. Wrap up the show.
That is it for AFL Today for today. We will be back on Sunday evening to wrap up. A pretty late finish, actually, obviously, for round 8 with the Q Clash finishing, 9-ish, something like that.
9:30, yeah.
9:30.
Yeah, it's a bit later.
Pretty crazy because Queensland does have a public holiday on Monday, which is fun. Either way, we'll be all over this stuff right then to wrap it all up. Have the ladder check. Get all the vibes. It's going to be fun. But again, for the Thursday team show, thank you to Social Guy Leo.
Thank you to Jim.
And thank you to the Stats Boy, Liam McAllion.
Thanks, Jim.
Remember to smash a like across all the socials. See us doing lots of fun stuff all throughout the week. What did we do this week? We had we did rivalries, goal of the week, mark of the week.
How to fix the AFL, Monday Night Football.
Yeah. How to fix the AFL. That's what I do. Fix things. I'm an ideas, man. But of course, check it all out. Facey, IG, X, Threads, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. And subscribe, star, and like all of our shows across all of your podcast apps. What is that? AFL Today Show, Cricket Today Podcast, Football Today Podcast, NBA Australia, NFL Australia, and hold all tickets. Get around them like, I don't know, John Platten around a perm in 1986.
Nice.
Just flowing locks. Like Leo. Simple as that.
Like Brucey Rebel.
Exactly like me.
Yeah.
Just like that. All right. We'll catch you later this week, Sunday night. It's going to be a cracking show. It's going to be late. We might be flying, I'll tell you that much, for more AFL Today. Until then, have a great weekend of footy and look after yourselves because remember, footy's back. If you like this show, make sure you check out all the other shows in the Sports Today network, from the AFL Today Show to the Cricket Today podcast, the Football Today podcast, as well as NBA Australia and NFL Australia. With Sports Today, your sporting needs have never been easier to cover.